This mine right here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 I'm about to play something for y'all. A lot of people don't be wanting to see, and I use things for you to make a sound decision. I want you to look at this from no bias perspective, and I want to see if you understand what's going on. When I tell people, you have to really understand what people do. You have to really understand what happens. You have to really understand the outcome and see what happened to these people consistently, not only with them and with their children. And then see how people continue to do these things and think it's going to be a different outcome. And not only themselves get caught up, everybody with them get caught up. I just gave my sister an analogy. I said, here it is, a woman to be on Section 8, government housing, and a man or husband, whatever, making a whole bunch of videos talking about they finna overthrow the government, and then be having these thoughts like, why am I having a problem with my housing? Because the government your daddy, and your man just dissed your daddy. I'll try to tell you, and he doing it all on videos, just like these young rapper boys. You making it easy. And you getting everybody caught up. That be the problem. I said, look, how can you arbitrarily explain the law and then our people get mad for others helping us? That's why these European Albions, whatever, make videos and be like, look at these moots. And look at these goofy sovereign citizens and all this, because it is goofy. Those that's doing that. That's why I don't have a problem with operating. I tell people that a lot of the stuff these people doing, you know, it ain't more science. They know it ain't more science. I don't know what they doing. So I'm gonna play this.
That old crazy stuff about, that this is her land, that, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. But I'm going to show it to you, family. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm going to tell you off the top. It's pretty bad. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I had to show y'all this, because this is ridiculous, man. Like, this system, the sad part about it, I'm not even making a mockery of it. The sad part about it is that she put her children in this condition. When you see this demonstration in a minute, you know what I mean? You got to sympathize with the children. One thing for sure, we've been saying for a long time that this is not Moorish science, has nothing to do with Moorish, has nothing to do with Moors, has nothing to do with anything as it relates to the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
And let's just set the record straight. I ain't with neither one of these people on here talking. I'm using this for educational purposes only. You know what I mean? So the guy on there speaking, he's narrating the video. Somebody sent me the video a long time ago without him on there narrating it. This video that he's talking about is posted in 2019 on his TV show. It say Moore's World TV show. But this whole thing is a court document. This happened for real. In real time. Like, this happened in real time. And the guy got it on his what did he say? What's her name? Sharon T. Gale Bay was arrested live 9/15/2019. So it's on my man show thing. I said show thing.
So I don't know why anybody, for that matter, would even consider trying this mess. But anyway, let me pull it up real quick. Oh, that's not it. My bad. Here we go. Let me drop that down real quick, and I'm going to pull it up. I'm trying to keep my screen, because I don't know why this.
Man, he need to get up. Let me fast forward this. He just talking. Get to the damn thing. I should have put up the other document, but it would take too long.
She seen them coming. She most likely is at the library.
You hear what he said? The library. The library. Wait. Let me go back. Did he say the library?
Copyright demonstration. What are you here for? So look, the people
do
have
that.
come in, right? And she see them coming. She most likely is at the library. You know what I mean? She most likely at the library. But check it out.
Library, sir.
What are you here for? Most likely they telling her to come out. Check it out. There is a policy enforcer outside.
They go that talk. It's a policy enforcer outside. Man, you know what they there for.
What are you here for? I'm Sharon Tracy Belgrade, Motion International, appropriate science users, appropriate children, appropriate orders at all times and at all points in time. I do not agree to anything and everything. I'm a Motion International. I'm a Motion International. I'm outside the jurisdiction. Do you hear this? She has been led to believe.
Now, where did she get that from?
She has sole authority.
Where did she get that script from?
Or answer to any authority. Watch this. No, I'm not. I am absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I'm not there. I'm Sharon Tracy Belgrade, Motion International. Sharon Tracy Belgrade, Motion.
Look at everybody. What's the charges? All the kids. All that trauma.
The constant man is in there yelling, "What's the charges?" But hold up. What you mean, what's the charges? You saying that they don't have no right, they don't have no authority on your land? What do you mean? This is sad. Improprio solo, improprio harness, provide with all my children with all my things. Like she's still talking about impropriate solo. And these people ain't caring about that. Why do people think words is gonna fix something? Appropriate solo, like all of this stuff. And I'm telling you, the sad part about this, the sad part about this is listen to the children. You are fine. Back up. You are fine. This is why they're getting deported. Because they know you're North American nationals. They know I am a North American national. They know they're outside their jurisdiction. They know. Now she's gonna probably forfeit her children. She's gonna probably forfeit her children to the state, to the same people that she has this grievance or beef with, and now they are going to dictate the raising of your children, most likely. I hope not, but I hope she get it together. But this is just what it looked like. They're human trafficking. They know this. They absolutely know this. You wait. And the brothers in the background saying, any laws being violated? Like, what do you mean? Y'all in there teaching this, all of this stuff. Like, what do you mean? They absolutely know this. You wait. Take my cell phone. Take my cell phone. Say bye. You're not touching anything. Brother, so somebody said, although I respect you and your channel, but what does this, I guess he said, help? What this help is, regardless of what you think of this, we are going to represent that this is not Moorish science. When people running around saying that they represent Prophet Noble Drali, that they represent Moorish, no. We're going to draw the line. You know what I mean? We're going to draw the line. We're going to make it plain and simple. That this has nothing to do with Moorish. That's not what I stand for. That's not what I represent. That's not what my children stand for.
Now, let me fast forward him, because I'm telling y'all, he got this, I need to find, without him on it. Because this is what I'll be telling y'all, a lot of this stuff is not more science, but where do these people get this from? They're getting it from somewhere. People got to be honest and be like, where they getting it from? Because I know where people getting this shit from, but they're not going to be honest to it. So what happens? People continue to go down the same fucking trash can. Let me see what it fast forward from.
I'm with all my children, with all my things. You are fine. Back up. You are fine. This is why they're getting deported. Because they know the more Russian American.
I'm gonna fast forward from it. I need to get past that part. Ain't nobody getting deported. Ain't no cops got deported yet, had it. When did they get deported? I'll wait. Tell me when somebody got deported. See, all that talk don't mean nothing. You still go to jail. You still don't pass go. You still get your kids took. All this shit, man. And like, that's not more science. Damn, I want to just see him talking. Damn, where? Oh, so they're just him. Man, let me get out of this.
Nationals, they know I am a North American national. They know they're outside of their jurisdiction. They know they're human traffickers.
He said they know they're human traffickers. Where they getting that talk from?
Take my cell phone. Say hi.
Look at the kids in the back crying.
All of my things. You are protected. You are protected.
So somebody says, I didn't know what she was.
I need to get out. They talk about how they know where she was at. They know where she was at. What you mean? And that's all I be asking people. This what y'all want? What y'all trying to overthrow the government? Or so y'all some sovereign? So y'all some fucking militia? Cause that ain't what I'm about. So you trying to overthrow the government? Cause that's what this is. Ain't that what this is? Motherfucker overthrowing the government? Some goofy ass militia? Yeah, I know. That's why I said this ain't no more science.
Welcome back to Degeneration Nation. Or if you're new here, well.
Come on, man, you talking too much, man. And I go everywhere. You'll never see me get arrested, will you? You'll never see me get arrested going all over. That's why I'm saying this ain't no what we teach.
For what? For what? I have children.
So, you see what they always say? I have children. You want to think about your children? Then was you?
Website www.oxymoron.org.
There is a policy outside.
That are known to non-crazy people as police officers.
Look at all that shit in the background. I'm like, man, y'all people crazy. And they don't have no money. The people talk about all this commerce and economics. They don't have
What are
nothing.
you here for?
Bitch, are you dumb?
See, people been just editing and chopping it. I need to see it. I need to go in my file. Because I got it in my files. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. Man, I can show y'all so much crazy shit. Now, here go my man right here. This dude right here. I showed y'all that book that I showed my members.
The green book?
No.
Oh.
The USR people and all these other people that be getting people in trouble. And they think stuff real because they out here playing. I don't, like I said, hey man, whatever. Do as you please. But you can't never say that's no more science. That's your own thing. I told y'all that's a whole bunch of people talking about they finna overthrow the government. That sounds like a militia. That's what that sounds like to me. And people be getting mad. And I said, what you mad for? Y'all don't want, they don't want putting this shit out there. I told y'all it's only grown people. I tell people this all day. These grown people with kids, and the first thing they say, my boo-boo, where my babies? You ain't thinking about your babies when you done this stuff. And all the people that follow that, they gonna be in trouble too.
Everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday. All right, so
And they be mad.
You're checking out, as promised, Sharon Tracy Gale's docket to see what the court clerk has updated. I checked it yesterday, and all I saw.
And then I'll show you. I know a lot of people that getting caught up in this rapture. A lot. This is public information. When I be telling people when they say, "Oh, I ain't do this, I ain't do this," I said, "Okay, now you lying." Just like I showed with the lady that used to be in my tribe, and I said, "Now I can look this up." Boom, same shit I be saying.
And that was all that was there. So I said, okay, well, we're just in a continuance. But I just looked at it a few moments ago and realized something strange occurred. So apparently, the judge filed another criminal notice with a trial date,
Mm-hmm.
and the court clerk put it in later because it is there now and it was not there yesterday.
Think you finna get out? Boom, another charge.
On the 6th, which was yesterday,
And now this is old.
the court clerk went in and put in criminal notice form filed,
Mm-hmm.
trial date,
Criminal.
December 1st. But that would have been great, right? We would have had a trial on the 1st of December. But see, this is what keeps happening. So the minute the judge files for a new trial date, here goes Sharon filing something called Moorish National Republic Federal Government. No other explanation. We have no idea.
I ain't even got to go on with that. I'm showing y'all what happens. I don't even got to go on. I hope people know what they sit looking at with that part.
Now, it may not in this case.
I hope a lot of this stuff be crazy. And I be asking people, I'm like, this what y'all want to do? Like this would, like, what's a sovereign citizen? I be asking more, I say, what's a sovereign citizen? They can't even tell you. A sovereign citizen, that's an oxy-freaking-moron. Sovereign, how are you a sovereign and a citizen? Like, look, this is what these people be teaching. And these people be making a mockery of people. So this is what I'm showing you when people be like, more this like, and they be like, well, this shit, the more the people that talk about they don't pay taxes and do all this shit, all this stuff, and be talking about currency and this is your land, your social security number attached to some money, and they don't have a pot to piss in. But your social security attached to millions. Okay, if mine attached to millions, why yours ain't attached to millions, cuz?
I don't know.
But you say, I'm worth all these millions. Well, motherfucker, ain't you worth the millions too?
The Constitution for the United States of America. We need to know that, right? Currency and money are not necessarily one and the same thing.
This woman just said that currency and
Oh,
money
Lord.
are not necessarily the same things. But when you look at the definition for currency, it clearly says coins,
paper money.
It is mind blowing.
Done. So what the fuck she talking about?
This lady, Sharon Tracy Gale, is a teacher, and people actually listen to her. She is teaching these people the
and this how people get caught for a bad name. And y'all know when they talk about Moors out here getting abused, no, they not. I'm in the red state. Me and my family we out here every day. Please.
This nonsense.
This is nonsense.
That she teaches them. This is just sad. All it takes is a quick dictionary search, and you will see that currency is literally paper money and coins. It's the exact opposite of what she just tried to describe. This is ridiculous.
Right, so when we talk about Dora, we talk about a medium of exchange. Well, it has been acceptable medium of exchange. Even more back to the that's absolutely they're doing that. But understand, Moors have a due diligence, have a responsibility for
So
themselves.
the he that's asked for it, like she really ain't saying nothing but a whole bunch of gibberish.
Right? So there's a lot of Moorish organizations out there that are saying certain things, they're doing certain things, and they're violating it. Like, who violated first? You did, I know. So even though they are wrong for the things that they're doing, but they owe their allegiance to a foreign power.
Because it's a whole bunch of nothing.
They're following the contract, if they are following the contract, that's how they align themselves, right? I was like, so, yes, I believe like I said, it's always crazy. It's all like power that she did a long time ago, a bunch of videos,
a whole bunch of talking. That's why I be saying barbershop talk.
Not currency. Federal Reserve notes is not currency. The DeLorean is not currency. There's nothing backing it, right? And when we sit here and put a new form of currency out there, we have to notify individuals. But before we can notify individuals, we have to operate as a sovereign government. We got to operate as a sovereign government. We got to organize ourselves and create those articles of organization. And as of right now, I know no other Moorish organization who has done that.
Wow. Shots fired. Now, I know you guys might be thinking, like, what in the doohickey is DeLorean? Well, DeLorean is fake money that another more sovereign citizen, like Tajiri Bay, created. So pretty much Sharon Tracy Gale Bay is taking shots at Light Tajiri Bay's DeLorean. Now, this is the first time in this video where she's actually telling the truth, because Morris DeLorean, is not money. It is not backed by gold. So she's actually telling the truth here. But at the same time, she is taking shots at another Moore while keeping it real. And I actually applaud her for that. Now, DeLorean is a fake Moorish money that Light Tajiri Bay has created. She literally cuts this stuff up in her home and sends it out to Moors, and she tells them, hey, you can put this in your bank account and you can deposit it and you can take this to stores and
Now, you heard of that scam before, haven't y'all? Ask any of my know, but listen, I told you I've been around too long today. They ain't gonna come to me with that trash. They use this in court. It's a law called the copyright law. And I know people be that Nigerian scam when they say, hey man, take this man, and this is the check. Oh, you give me this my money, and I'm gonna give you this little accounts receivable thing you put in your account, and when the money comes, you just give me this, all this shit fake. How can you deposit tell somebody to take this and to deposit in your account? How? What is it? What is it? It's some shit you cut. It ain't nothing. Now, why would anybody tell somebody to do something like that? Why? And tell you can deposit this in your account if that's what's going on. And I say allegedly, because I mean that's what she's doing allegedly from the video, because that's what the video is saying. So allegedly, why would that lady tell people you could take something what she cut and deposit in your bank? How? Why?
Use it as fiat. Light Tajiri Bay is totally delusional. She knows very well that this DeLorean that she created is just paper. It is not money. And I actually applaud Sharon Tracy Gale for telling the truth about it. Because if you try and take Light Tajiri Bay's DeLorean and deposit it into a bank,
you're going to get arrested.
Two things might happen. The bank teller might laugh you out of the bank, or the bank teller might actually call the policy enforcement.
No, they are.
And have you
it ain't no might.
Arrested for trying to deposit counterfeit money. So my advice is stay away from the whole DeLorean. Never listen to Light Tajiri Bay and anything she has to say, because she's a nutcase. And I actually applaud Sharon Tracy Gale Bay here for actually keeping it real. Thank you, Sharon.
A Barnes organization is operating as a sovereign bureaucratic government, not incorporated, who sent it up to the apostolic church. It stands as law in all of so-called 50 corporate states because they're not geographical territorial. They're only fictitious entities because they incorporated. And on their own website, they tell you they incorporated. They let you know that we incorporated in 1776 or 1838, right?
Yo, let's fast forward, because they showing that she ain't saying nothing.
All the councils that have been commissioned under us to nationalize.
All the councils, she said all the councils that been commissioned under, hold on, let me hear you, listen. She said all the councils that was commissioned under her to nationalize. To nationalize what? No man, no woman, no temple can nationalize you or denationalize you. None. So what's she talking about? So what's she talking about? What councils that said that give her the authority to say she can go nationalize people? That's hog fucking wash. And I'm telling you that. Hell, I'll tell that to anybody with that goofy shit.
Exactly how they are organized and structured by the names that they've chosen for their organizations. So if they haven't done an article organization, they're not organized by politics, because you need to notify, right?
She said, if you haven't, listen to what this lady's saying. She sounded stupid as hell. He said, if you ain't done an article of the organization, well, what you do an organization somewhere. These people be hangman they self. I hope people listen.
group here that I said, I'm going to post it on my platform, and I'm going to post it on the website, MoorishAmericanConsulate.org. And because
MoorishAmericanConsulate.org. Wow.
Organization that are claiming to be Moorish American consulates. We have a Moorish American consulate. I was one of the original judiciary members of the Northeast of the Moorish American consulate. We separated ourselves out from among the other judiciary members, particularly because of the case delivery process that we were in. When you guys read the consul notification and access, I mean, not consul notification and access, when you read the consul commissioning documents, our consuls are not.
That shit is crazy.
Know what we're doing, right? Nobody's doing that. You have to gain knowledge, so you got to slow down more, and you got to sit in front of your computer, or you got to sit in front of your laptop, or you got to go to the library, or you got to do whatever it is that you got to do to try to gain that knowledge, right? Because if you don't understand contract law, if you don't understand trust law, if you don't understand the Constitution, then you're not going to understand why you're doing an engine.
And when people talk about all this contract law and trust law, I tell you, if you ain't got nothing to put in, what you talk about trust? What do you have? Nothing.
If you don't do, how the hell do you know? You can't claim to know if you're not doing. You gotta do.
Oh man, this shit be. Man, do y'all see how this shit is, man? That's why I said I don't blame nobody for making creative videos about moops, but you ain't finna come on my page because I'm against all this dumb shit.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
I had these questions, right? I was like, so, okay, why'd you say USAR? I don't know why you said that, but I'm going to clarify because I do get Moors that contact us from who went to them and they gave them bad information.
These motherfuckers crazy, man. I told y'all, all these people crazy, man.
Claiming to be a government because they got a charter overstand, you don't need permission as sovereigns. Anything on your land. Only an individual who is outside of sovereignty, meaning they're not Moor, they're not bloodline tied to this earth like Moors are.
Wow.
Have to get charters. Because charters is what? It's permission.
But you just, oh my God.
The USAR is chartered by.
Oh, this shit is crazy. Just a second ago, you ain't even hear what she said a minute ago.
Charter from the state of Indiana, which makes them incorporated, which makes them not able or allowed through the Constitution to grant titles of nobility because they are a franchisee of the United States of America.
Wow. All I can say is Sharon Tracy Gale is dropping bombs in this lecture. She just totally destroyed USAR with the truth.
I told y'all already, people.
The second time.
They don't even know what they be saying, man. I told y'all, I be like, dude, like, are y'all listening? Like,
the fictitious government.
So if you are the listen, I'll tell you. So they be telling each other the fictitious U.S. fake government shit.
Corporation that was incorporated in the state of Indiana. They are not a government.
And they not now. And she said, and the Moorish Scientific of America is not
Wow.
And when you say government, words are synonymous. That's how you got to know how the temple is set up.
She's actually
and they lying.
Real, and I applaud her.
She on. That's what I'm saying. They be telling on all these. They some government. This. They be this. You don't even know.
It's not a government.
That's why I say, see how the temple is set up. This is divine and national.
Incorporated by the state.
Understanding what the prophet did and how he organized. People have no idea.
Or rather, their mailing address appears to be in a junkyard. What government?
Their mailing address is a junkyard.
In a junkyard.
The government.
It's fictitious.
What that's what they say, you sir.
And more, you would know that.
This ain't me saying it. This can be used for anything. They using it. The government using it. They hanging man all of them, all parties. It's just like if you selling fake clothes or fake Jordans, and this person selling fake Jordans, and both of y'all hating on each other. Both of y'all selling fake Jordans, y'all out there. Well, my Jordan's better than it. Look at mine, I'm better. Both of y'all shit fake. What are you talking about?
In your head, because apparently it hasn't clicked for a lot of you that the status is the issue, right? And you got to fix it on the private side as you identify in your community as well as on the public side, because you got to fix the sin your mother put you in when she gave ownership, administration, trusteeship over your estate to the county you domicile in through the birth certificate and the social security.
So then let me ask you this.
Fact.
Okay, so if it's you, what about everybody that's in America? Do everybody in America got a birth certificate and a social security number? So if that's the case, if you basing it on that fact, then I can be a whole different nationality and say, hey man, I fall in that same category as you. Why? Because I'm a model too. I was born from my mom in 9 months. What you talking about? If you saying that, because that's a government and the people thing. If you saying that, yeah, exactly.
Ain't no debate. I don't debate. If you got information that can
People crazy, man.
What information I have presented,
and that's what these conscious woke people do. They want information. What y'all gonna do with this information? What? So you telling me information caused you to go to jail? Man, people crazy.
In love, and we will make the adjustments that we need to make, but we read.
Well, they don't.
Here. When I say read, I mean interpret and comprehend.
Because this shit is old, and I'm gonna show you what people doing today.
Is a corporation because of their charter.
So
I gotta tell you this, like I said.
And then these people going around talking about these ladies talking about they got POW paperwork.
Move off the place, because I am debating with ignorance.
All this shit be crazy. And that's what I be telling people. What you want to follow? You want to follow this crazy shit or that crazy shit? And that's what I be asking Moors. It shouldn't be. If it's one teaching, then everybody should be able to come to. It's just like religious people. And I tell people, religious people do the same thing. That's why I tell people, I be like, oh, you got Church of God in Christ, you got Jehovah's Witnesses, you got a Baptist, you got all this. Your mother might be this denomination, your cousin might be this denomination, and it might be a Muslim. They don't even come together. And then we talk about Moors. Hell, man, people forget Moors. Hell, people in their own family don't talk. So when it comes to more science, I always try to ask people, okay, well, what's more science? Because the first thing a person get to talk spilling you about is some civics. The person, everything you get talk about, all this kumbaya. How can you have a kumbaya with people if people is coming with their own rhetoric and arbitrary explaining their law and not telling people they've been arrested and everything they saying don't make sense? Why? When we talk about unity, if we under law and if we under all this, well, how come everybody coming up with their own thing? How come all Moors now saying they got some Moorish American travel plates? You got some Republic plates, and then you got some tribal plates. Like what is this all about? And what having a plate gonna do for you? I ask everybody, what having a plate gonna do for you? When people talk about come together. So I always throw it back at people. Come together how? Tell me. How can people come together? Because there's only one science. So if you say you studying the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, and you don't have the literature, you're not part of the temple, you're not studying from a sheep from the temple or from an educator, and your whole claim to fame is to overthrow the government, that's a militia. And that don't have nothing to do with Moors, because that's a European game. So what we talk about, that ain't Moorish science. You show me any Moorish science temple or any group of Moors talk about this day land, drive without license, squatting in houses. Show me any group of Moors doing that. Filing some paperwork, talking about your social security connected to some money. Show me any group of Moors. Show me any proof that the temple is set up, how these people doing it. Supposed to be some government, and I'll show you plainly it's not. I'll show you clearly how the temple was set up. This is public information. So what are these people talking about? We can't get along. Yes, we could if people fall down to the wisdom of righteousness and understanding and studying under the vine and fig tree, instead of everybody want to come up with their own thing. And people make up stuff as it go. That's all I tell people. Like, people be studying more science on the internet. People will meet somebody on the internet and say, oh, I claim my nationality, and hold up an ID card. And I say, man, well, where? How? And give people their social security number, or talk about they got some passport or some North American travel document. And I'm like, so what are you going to do with that? Because if you understand anything, your ID is for your salvation, and failure to obey these orders would be with severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these orders are violated, justice must then take its course. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. All those cards, our ID card for the Moorish Science Temple is for the Moorish Science Temple of America only. It's not to replace nothing. Our membership ID is for the temple. Our travel ID is for the temple. Our taxes ID is for the temple when we making purchases and all that. It's not to replace nothing. What more told you some Moorish American travel ID or something replaces your motherfucking operator's license? How? Where? I said, you go to the prison and tell a whole bunch of brothers that's getting ready to get out, say, oh, give up your license and get this Moorish American document. And after they done went and got their CDLs to drive trucks, man, they gonna be, man, and you see what's gonna happen. Don't nobody tell nobody no trash like that. Only people that tell somebody something like that is a bum. And you don't have nothing to offer these people but bum stuff. So when a person say, how can we get along? We all can't get along. And that's what I tell people. We all can get along. That's the whole thing, because niggas killing niggas every day. If Black Lives Matter, why are we killing each other? If Black Lives Matter, man, you could put all misnomer Black people in one area, it's still gonna be crime. I guarantee you. You can take all Negroes and put them somewhere, it's still gonna be crime. I be doing these analysis. I used to go to the prisons, to the male prisons and the female prisons. When I was in Michigan, I used to go to Thumb Correctional Facility. I do these little surveys with ladies and show them how to lean on each other and how to do things community and help each other and be like a co-op. I walk out, come back, because I do it. I want to see if they're communicating with each other. All the ladies will be, talking. I do the same thing with the guys. They be all in splinter groups. And then I'd be like, y'all see what I'm saying? They'd be like, what? I see y'all done grouped up to take each other out. So I said, if something real came and happened, y'all, it won't be enough for y'all. It won't be enough for y'all to strategize, because y'all in subordinate groups will try to take each other out. And wisdom is knowledge. I say, when people say the right knowledge, I say the right can be wrong. That's why I never put things. I'll say the right can be wrong and the wrong can be right. How? Because a person can be sincere and saying it's the right knowledge and it's the right knowledge, but they can be sincerely wrong. And it take a person that heart's full with Allah to correct it. That's why when a person saying right, they'd be sincere. And I'm like, you sincere on what? Because somebody told you. And I said, well, if you proven wrong, you ain't going to admit that you were sincere, but you sincerely wrong. So when a person says the right knowledge, what's the right knowledge? I just want the heart to be pure. Because if the heart pure, you can stand and be corrected. That's what I'm saying. You will be willing to do the research. We'll be willing to learn. We'll be willing to deal with the 360 and the 720. We'll be willing to deal with the material, and then dealing with the sum total of material and spiritual. We'll be willing to deal with that. We wouldn't be out here trying to have pissing contests. We will know, we will understand from application and guideship and testing these things, using your compass and square, knowing how to use these things, going in the laboratory with your test tubes and your beakers. Because what's knowledge if it's not applied? Like I tell all these people, what's the good of doing all these lectures and people still poor as shit? I know what it is. I got this book. I got a whole bunch of books. And a person ain't nothing. They work at Amazon and they just putting packages in a box. And I ain't saying ain't nothing wrong with that. But how intelligent can a person be? And all your aspirations is just to put some fucking packages in a box and talking all this. I know so much. Hell, if I'm a person that ain't into what you into, and I'm doing all these extra things and raising money for myself and got my own companies and hiring my own family, I'll tell you to, man, be quiet. Can't tell me nothing. So when the person and it don't be no disrespect, and I say, well, what's the right knowledge? Because if the heart ain't pure out, knowledge means nothing, because knowledge should transfer to wisdom. That's why I tell people, I say, I hear you. I know a lot of people that know a lot of stuff, and they some bums. I know a lot of people that think they know something and pick up a book and get their ass handed to them, especially that little green book, because it's no wisdom. It's no wisdom being applied. So they'll get this crap right here, and it's for educational purposes only, and get in trouble because they think some knowledge is something that has no wisdom. And people just be talking. And I'm not talking about nobody on here. So please don't take what I'm saying to heart. I'm just speaking in generalities. When I say yes, knowledge is good. When I say, yeah, knowledge is good, but okay, if that knowledge don't transfer to wisdom, man, you can say, man, I can tell you, man, you save $100 a month. At the end of the year, you have $1,200. If you don't have the aptitude to do it, shit, don't say my math is wrong. No, you just didn't stick to the plan. You just didn't see if it works. You can be like, no, that ain't right. And everybody will be like, man, it is right. What you talking about? You say that ain't the right knowledge. Why I didn't do it? And everybody say, well, did you save $100 a month? Yeah. No, you couldn't have. You couldn't have saved $100 a month, because if you saved $100 a month, at the end of the 12 months, you will have $1,200. So it takes some application. We can't blame it on the math, because the math works. That's why I tell people this is mathematics. This ain't, life is a mathematical equation. Everything is a solution. So knowledge is great. I know a lot of people that just know some shit and don't have nothing. I know a lot of people be on an assembly line talking about, man, I'm gonna do this. And yeah, you know a lot of stuff. Oh man, I know this, but it ain't manifesting to nothing. So knowledge and wisdom is two different things. And 360 is just the sum total of material knowledge. That ain't nothing, which is no disrespect. And that's why I say that we all can't get along. I tell people, no, we all can't get along, because people choose to be criminals. In the court of law, people choose to fraudulently conceal you. People choose to be sovereign citizens. People choose to do these things and bring you under burning houses because they play on your lack of knowing. People choose to act like, oh, this NFT today, you finna give them some money and you finna take their program and magically you're gonna make some money. That's not realistic. None of that stuff is realistic. So that's why we all can't get along. Because I'm not going to be around a whole bunch of adults that's incompetent and steady be trying to shove something down a person's throat. That's not true. You cannot take no falsehood in the court of law and try to make it true. How? There's no way. So that's why we can't all get along. And I tell people why. Plain and simple. If you take all misnomer black people, whatever, or you can just take all Moors and put all Moors in a certain area, I guarantee you it's going to be crime. I guarantee you if all those Moors in the area, I guarantee you all the Moors is not going to meet together. Because if you Muslim, Islam, whatever, you all supposed to pray together. If you all say in the area, I bet you it's going to be Negro like, well, I'm this, and be all in splinter groups, and you will see who be prosperous. You will really be able to see, because a lot of the people ain't shit. But you'll see all these people want to be something, they'll be in a splinter group. And so they'll rather take a whole bunch of people in a burning house. And then the people have to choose where they want to go to, because that's what an adult do. You'll be able to have a choice. What did you want to deal with? And what tribe you want to deal with, and see the growth and to see the development. Or you want to deal with some goofball that ain't never dealt with finances, that don't know how to garden, that ain't never dealt with money, that ain't never dealt with people, that ain't never dealt with policy, that ain't never dealt with international law, local law, state law, federal law. That ain't real verse. That's a pillar in communities. Or you want to deal with somebody on the internet that you know a bum. And I tell people, no, we can't all get along. We can't. Because some people will choose to be on a criminal level. Think about it. Think about it. People choose to do this. Just look at it now. People will choose, I'm gonna go get me a Morris America travel document, or somebody gonna nationalize me. People choose to do that instead of learning, instead of understanding, or like a person say, getting the right knowledge. We choose to do that, and we think, and all people want is to trick it. And what they do, start flashing it. And then you ask a person what they know, nothing. And they think standing on their square is with their feet out. And I say, well, get our divine creed and bylaws and read it, and tell me anything that these people saying fall under the jurisdiction of our divine creed and bylaws. I ask any more of that. Read your divine creed and bylaws. And then they'll start, well, it don't mean that. And I say, man, you don't know what the hell it means, because you don't even know how the temple is set up. And then I show you it's nothing nobody can say. It's nothing. And then law governs all events. I don't need no law book and all that. I use the Moore's Quran, the Bible, and you can have any real law book with a district attorney or prosecutor, and I'm going to show you law governs all events. That's why when I tell people, no, we can't all get along, because a lot of people will perpetrate. They'll put on the regalia of a how can I say, just because you would buy a uniform off Amazon and then you come around real Wing Chun students and you bought your martial arts attire or regalia off Amazon, and we've earned ours, or we part of a real group and we do this in real life, and you just bought one off Amazon. That is a difference. That is a difference. It ain't nothing wrong with you say you want to get it and say you want to learn, but then not even connecting to your own people and standing away and talk, well, I study from my elders. And that's why people get the wrong science, because they won't admit that they learning wrong. And most people are learning wrong. And they won't admit it. And that's why we can't get it all alone. Because if we out here to bring people to righteousness, man, we ain't out here to overthrow no government. If I don't care what color you are, if you was drowning in a river, I'm jumping in that river to save you, and I'm risking my life to get you out. That's just me. I said, if people want the right knowledge, then why are we not seeking it? It's just like when you want to get into a relationship. You seeking the right empress, you seeking the right noble. You ain't just gonna let nobody deal with you with any old facet, I would hope, unless you like abuse. And so if that's the case, these people like abuse, because you know the shit ain't right. And then when you're dealing with it, look at all the repercussions that you getting after you done deal with all this stuff. Look at all the stuff that you have to deal with. Look at all the stuff that a person have to deal with. And so when I tell people, man, I said, this is something mental. It's just like when misnomer black folk was coming out of slavery and didn't understand, and they say you free and you this person and all that shit don't mean nothing. And I say, man, it's a whole mental thing, and people lost because knowledge need to be acquired. That's why I tell people a workman is due his hire. So if that's the case, if you have nothing to compare to and somebody jams something down your throat, and I say, well, have you ever looked at it in this way? Or have you read this? Or have you had this? Well, look at this and look at this. Look at this precedented law case. You're like, what's precedented? And I say, doc numbers. You say, what's doc numbers? And I say, Free Information Act. And you say, what's the Free Information Act? And you don't know nothing what I'm talking about. When somebody tell you driving with or without license is a federal, and I said that ain't got nothing to do with federal. I said if that's happening to you, that's messed up. I said, dude, driving with or without license ain't got nothing to do with the feds. Why do people lie? It's just like when Moors squatting houses. It was some lying ass Moors in Florida. I said, dude, squatters have no rights. And the lady was like, well, they in my house. And I showed her it. And this is an empress. I said, how they in your house? She said, well, they came in. I said, is it your house? Let's see the paperwork. I said, you ain't getting no eviction notice. It's no contract. So don't even worry about that. What I do, I said, this is the type of paperwork you get. I said, now, if you in your state and you want to get an attorney to do all this, if that make you feel good, you want to give them that retainer fee. If that's what you want to do to make you feel good, I'll guide you, because I ain't going to tell you what not to do. But I'm going to show you how to help you. And so when that attorney, whoever you get, to act like he or she is incompetent, I'm already done told you what to do as your legal advisor. So they gonna already know who you've been talking to. Well, my legal advisor said blah, 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 to make sure I get this type of paperwork because I don't have no contract with them. This is breaking and entering. Boom, boom, boom. Absolutely right. You get the proper paperwork, the cops come kicking that door goddamn in. I'm telling you, it's people incompetent in all type of shit. I'm telling you what I know. That's why I'm a consultant. Just like a lot of times certain people don't have a lot of, just like if you was going to get a hair transplant, we was watching it yesterday, and I'm the surgeon getting ready to do the hair transplant. I might not have 10 hours to talk to you the ins and out. I might try to talk to you real fast in 30 minutes and boom, 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 boom. But that might not be enough time for you to make the right decision on what you're getting ready to do, make this big life change. So you might need a consultant to sit down and consult you to give you the ins and fucking outs and everything before you go into the surgery for what you can expect, what you not expect. We're talking about competent. When I tell, and they be like, damn, you saved me. And they be like, well, I want to give you this. Because she was like, beforehand, this attorney telling me I got to go through all this and it's going to take a long time. Yeah, because that's how you're going to get paid. They know this shit and they act incompetent because they know you don't know. Just like these Negroes don't. They can't come to me with that trash. The Europeans sit under my feet. Without disrespect, they sons of Muslims. Most of these people in positions, just like the Klan, when you take off that hood, they within these positions. Most of these people are lower level Masons, 32 and 33 degrees. That's a level above freezing in meteorology. I told y'all I'm transparent. I'm 99 degrees. I'm 33 times 3. Ancient rite of Memphis and Mizraim, a spirit builder. I show y'all my connection. I show y'all I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society in California. I'm transparent. Everybody know what I'm saying is valid. Everyone. I'm not out here trying to convince you of nothing. I'm telling you, this is what it is. And the truth will make you free. And there's no in between. There's no in between. It's no, oh, I didn't know when you're doing these particular things. Or when you talking about you finna overthrow some government. So that means what, you a domestic terrorist if you saying these things. I mean, think about it. The Moorish Zion Temple was never to be no Islamic sect or to overthrow no government. Never. And people taking bits and pieces, confusing people. This is, and you got to measure, if you some national, where you have allegiance to. Because all foreign nationals, when they go to certain areas, anywhere they go in, they getting put on notice. And they all have certain plates, all nationals, not no tribal plate. So what we talking about, man, y'all? Really, when we say why we can't all get along, I'm telling you why. Because grown people will rather be a criminal and act like they don't know. And then when everybody get in trouble, brainwash is not an excuse in a court of law. This ain't military. In a court of law, there's no excuse of not knowing the law as an adult. You're not a minority. You let people always tell you a minority because they make decisions for you in its context. You know? But there's no excuse of not knowing the law. Where you say you headed? Where you headed, Noble Brian? And I tell people, I'm like, man, come on. Ain't no way we be doing no goofy stuff. Ain't no way we supposed to be out here acting crazy like we don't know. There's no excuse of not knowing the law in a court of law. No excuse. So when you doing all this stuff, what excuse you got? You don't know. Oh, I'm brainwashed. Well, by who? And I'm sitting here explaining it. How? And you have something to compare it to instead of a person just rambling a whole bunch of stuff in your ear, and you like, yep. And I'm like, yep, what? And you do all this stuff. I don't claim my nationality with this person. They done took, I done gave my social security number, or I'm about to do this. I'm about to file some paperwork with some provost marshal. We under something. I'm about to give some silver notes and put some people on notice. To do what? To do what? I keep telling y'all, man, these people lying. In local neighborhoods, the local and state laws trump everything they saying. Everything they saying. I promise you. And if they drive without operator's license and the car get impounded, they can't go back and get the car. I guarantee you, and they lying. That lady got to go and get it. Oh, you going on lunch? Islam, Brian. I guarantee you, because most of these dudes out here driving their baby mama cars or their girl car, that they got that little Section 8 little check where the state get them a little money on the car. And so it's in their girl name, and they got that little cheap insurance where you can go and it just lasts for what? About a couple months to get their tags for a year. And so when they get put over with that goofy ass Morse plate, travel document, whatever, if it works, great. Kudos. But you still poor as hell at the end of the day. And you lucky. Let's see, cross jurisdictions with that shit. And you ain't putting my family in a car with you. As soon as your shit getting empowered, you got to call her to come, and she got to come get her car out. She got to, because you can't go get it, because their company's going to ask for your operator's license and everything, proof of insurance, proof of all this. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. And if you get away with that, that's what you want to be doing? So I understand. But I do agree with what Noble said. The right, you got to get. I believe Moors need to get with the right nobles. And I ain't just gonna talk about myself, but I got nobles and members and men, women, children. We're getting ready to have our third Moorish ball. So yes, I would want to deal with someone that's a teacher. Just like anything, before I tell anybody to do anything, I'm gonna educate you on it so you can make the right decision. So you don't have to just depend on me. You can use me as a consultant, but you will know what you're doing when you're going into any decision. If you want to make that decision, if you choose to make that decision, regardless of what I tell you, be like, at least you're going in that decision based off all the information to make a sound decision. And you got a brother that's a consultant that's gonna make sure the shit right when you're going into it. They're gonna be like, oh, yep. They're gonna know you on point. And that's your right. Anytime you sign in some consumer law said you ain't have your legal advisor look over this shit. And so you're just gonna go make one of the biggest decisions in the world, getting a mortgage or getting a car loan, all that, and you don't have your consultant look over the paperwork and consumer law tell you better do it. And then you get all upset when you sign the contract. That's what I'll be telling us. So I understand we all can't get along. I wish we could. But it's never set up. Life is never set up that way. I just believe we need to be around people that's like us and like vibration, and we be an example of what to do, of what unity looks like, and what families coming together making tribes, and then tribes making nations. And so I look at it like that, where I say, I'm not going to take food off of my table to feed the dogs. I'm going to feed my family first. And if anything left over, I'm cool, because it's a land for a household. See, I ain't worried about those that's not hearing my voice. But if those that say they with it and we don't like minds, well, we right here. Because two people got two people. Those two people go get two more people. Those two more people go get two more people. Those two more people go get two more people. And then those two more people go get two more people. That's what it's all about. And if we're not willing to do that, what are we going to do? Continue to complain. If we're going to continue to give our finances to Uncle Sam with taxes and don't donate to organizations like myself and others that do real work and get taxes and receipt and get literature and all that and support something that's real, then we just going to complain. Because a group of us can do everything. We're talking about teaching. I teach online. I teach at the college campus every Wednesday. I mean, we can do this. I get donations from everyone. So if more say the right knowledge and want to learn, we right here. Every more wants stuff for free. And I say, compare to all your entertainment to what you put into your science and what you learning. I guarantee you spending more money partying and bullshitting. I guarantee you. Because I know Moors right now going at the mall getting ready to go buy an outfit for today. And they grown as shit. And they got a brand new outfit on every week. So you can't tell me. And you ask, I'm more, well, have you got any books from Sheik? Nope. If you go to this lecture, yeah, I'll be on this page all the time. I've been following him for 10 years. I've been following him for 5 years. You got any literature? Nope. So the man that had books out, at least 15 books out for over 5 years. You don't got none of his books? I see why you lost. You know he got a whole library, mypdfbooks.com, where you can download books on your tablet or go to Office Max and Staples and print them. For real? You ain't never been to class? Nope. But I study more science. Well, he is Sheik, he's an educator. So, but you've been following him for years. I've been following him for 5 years. Man, come on. That's why we lost. That's why we lost. And then you got all these Moors, and I'm not talking about anyone. You got all these Moors that have bay this and bay that. And I'm like, so where you study at? Nowhere. Where you get your feds from? I don't have one. Or they order their feds from Amazon. And they go to a Masonic store and get one. And I say, it ain't nothing wrong with doing that. But if I know a Moor, I won't mind from the Moor. I don't want it cheap. I don't give a shit if they say I can get a fez for $20 and that Sheik is having it and he sell his fez for $150 and he give you 2 books with it. I won't mind from the Sheik. I don't want no discount. I go buy a dumbass baseball hat for $500, a chrome hat, some dumbass Balenciaga shoes for a stack. Ain't no way in hell I'm not going to get my fez from a Sheik that I know online that sell fez that know they make them with love and they come from him with love. And I get the book that he gathered and compiled, The Esso Science of the Fez and Divine Creed of Moorish Science. I get that too. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to order mine from no Amazon or no Masonic store. I'm going to get it from him off the dribble. Now, if I don't know a Sheik or if I don't know him more like that, then I have to do what I have to do. But I'm going to seek out a Sheik because I'm going to want it from him. Why? Because I'm going to want ties from him. I'm not gonna go buy my or I'm gonna go on Amazon and get a goddamn martial arts patch and put the motherfucking martial arts patch on my chest and act like I study Wing Chun. I earned my fucking patch. I was a member. It don't matter how low or high rank you are. If you a member, I would want my feds coming from someone that it represents, someone that teach the science. So when a person, hey, at least I know the basics and I can understand and I can learn some things how from the sheik that teach what my feds represents before I put it on my head. I know at least the 32 degrees, which is material wisdom. And that's what I tell people. People do things before they even know the material wisdom. And I say, why? Why wouldn't you? So you don't know what the feds mean. I ain't even gonna go what the feds mean inside out, esoterically, but you don't even know what the feds mean. What they gonna do is go on Instagram or YouTube and Google something about the feds. They're gonna go on some publication, and I'm like, but that ain't what I'm talking about. And they're gonna be like, damn. And I'm like, you went right on this page. That's how I know you ain't gonna be able to see. People ain't gonna be able to use stuff for academia because they're gonna do the lazy shit. They're gonna go right on there, and I know where you're gonna go. And it's gonna be the whole exoteric, the general meaning that everybody gonna give you. Because I'm gonna tell you where everybody went and got the general information. It's just like when you see these goofy Negroes, they used to be on internet and they talk about they Mason this because they got some gloves and they doing all these feet out. That shit don't mean shit. You're not even official. Because if you was official, I'd be seeing you at a certain place where we go every year, where I have to go. And they know I'm official. That's why I be laughing at these brothers. I said, dude, man, stop fronting. And then anybody that no disrespect, that's a lower level Mason, Prince Hall, you only 32 and 33 degrees. That's a level above freezing. That's snowman wisdom. And it ain't no disrespect. And you got a shirt on talk about something in memory of Haram Abiff. And you don't know that they done buried your ass in a shallow grave. Jabal, Jablu, and Jabaleen, and had a Jubilee. And you don't know that whole tomb, the setting mall, all that stuff, and the acacia leaf, all that symbolization of your death. Even with our empresses, the white feds with the gold tassel. And so it's no slander. I tell our people, we right here. So the right wisdom is right here. That's why I tell us, why do we hate our own people? How can a man or woman say they love God, but hate and never seen God, but hate their brother that they see every day, that represents that vessel? That's asinine. And what do our 101 say? What's a prophet and what's an angel? I mean, what are we talking about? That's why I said we ain't following our teachings of nobody. Do you making it up as they go? And so I understand why we can't get all along. We all can't get along. We all using the same books, all this stuff, and people trying to use things to get in trouble, overthrow the government and get in trouble. I said, that's technology. I said, that's not more science. I love America. I love where I'm at. This is the only place that you can have nothing and have something. Why you think everybody that's moving from all these third world countries and risk their life to get here in America, and your goofy ass talking about you finna overthrow the government and you want to go somewhere? Where do you want to go? You got that much time on your hand to be doing that instead of figuring your life out and helping your kids and become successful in life. That's what you want to do. I be asking these grown men, that's your mission. Because damn sure that ain't my mission. I'm proud to be a Moorish American. If you a national, take your ass to your where you say you got allegiance from, go there. You talk about you want to expatriate from this de facto government. You got to be a freaking fool. Then who you got allegiance with after you expatriate? What you get ready to do then? I'll wait. You a domestic terrorist. Now what are you? See? That's what I'm saying. All this niggerly dumb stuff, this shit is stupid. And y'all know it. So if the right knowledge, we should be stepping up like, yeah, we know this ain't right. And why would if my life was okay and I'm dealing with a person, why my life is worse than what it was now than before I even started dealing with these people? Why everybody deal with these people, their lives be worse off than what it was before they deal with these people? Everyone, every single one, they be losing their children, getting arrested, and they be happy to do that. So you got, that's what you got all that time to do is get your ass arrested. That's what you got time to do. And got kids. That shit crazy. Your kids don't want to do none of that shit you doing. So that's why I'm saying, nobles, We got, just because a person's talking and they on the internet and then they want to, after they got in trouble, they want to talk about their kids and all this. You weren't thinking about your kids with all this shit. You trying to defraud people. Because what person in their right mind, y'all, would say they got some POW paperwork that can get people out of jail? What person with their right fucking marbles or sit up there after they done got out of jail, all this goofy shit, go right back and make videos doing the same thing and come up with some fake paper and say, oh, we got this paperwork where we can get people out of jail? Who? Who, y'all? Who do that in their right mind? And so if we talk about the right knowledge, and there's hundreds of people still dealing with these people. And so I say it's some fallacy. It's a whole bunch of poor Section 8 people. And I say, that just like, I own all these houses and you making videos talking about me and you think you finna still rent my house. And I'm giving you assistance. You're on government assistance. Your rent change. But you're going to just make a whole bunch of videos like, you finna overthrow me. You're going to do this, man, we going to overthrow this, but you living in my home. I'm just going to make it hard for her. No, her, we tearing her Section 8 up. You can't, we ain't renting to her. Nobody accepting your bullshit Section 8. How about that? And you got this goofy ass baby daddy that he ain't got nothing. He don't have no house. He living with you on Section 8. That's how they be choosing weak women. They be living with women on Section 8. And when the women go to work, they drop them off and they ride around their car all day. They ain't got shit. Talk about they some government. Where your money being generated from then? If you a government, who paying taxes to you? Where you getting money from? These Negroes going around buying single cigarettes.
No.
Single cigarettes?
Yeah. Buying single cigarettes. And when you see what these people say, I be telling y'all, a lot of they don't even be having real addresses. Man, they some goddamn government and your address is a goddamn junkyard. Or you a government and your government is just a P.O. box at a post office. And that shit collecting. So they really can't draw it to you. It'd be mail fraud on the other people end. Because there's no excuse of not knowing the law in the court of law. I tell y'all it'd be hanged, man. And then with my consulate general, all this stuff, when you go to court, you be in that joker by yourself. And they be at home making a video in they makeshift motherfucking garage talking about this a court. Man, that's in your motherfucking garage. And you done record this shit on YouTube. Fuck you think you fooling? I'll show y'all this shit. It be people at home that, oh, this the consulate general, this, and some other lady. I said, man, that ain't nobody. That's they motherfucking club. And then I'll show you the other group of the so-called government people. They did a whole fictitious thing. And I told you, I know court clerks, everybody. They said, this is fraud, She Goodman. And I was like, what? She said, this group of people acting like this is some court of such, acting like this some court clerk. She was like, they already in trouble. And they put that shit on the internet, had that misnomer Arab dude on there, acting like he's some prosecutor attorney. That shit was all fucking fake. I tell it'd be too easy. Because all you gotta do is look it up. Where y'all at? What jurisdiction? You look it up, boom, boom. They be like, hey, these boom. They be like, nope, that's fraud. Oh, somebody put it on alert. Boom, got them. That easy. This ain't no made up shit. So why we can't get along? Because people do that to each other. Because people do that to each other. That's why we all can't get along. Because they don't know European and nobody have enough power to trick you up and have you all caught up doing this. What European doing this? Only people that's doing this to our people is our people. And our people that have a thief motives and a criminal motive, they only try to rob their own people. That's why I said criminals do crime amongst the people they around. That's why I said you can take all misnomer black people, Moors, put them in the area, it's still going to be the same amount of fucking crime. Why? Because some of them Moors is criminals and some of them niggas is criminals. That shit don't mean nothing. That's why we can't all get along. That's why we can't all get along. I'll be making it simple. I'm showing you. It's the difference. Look, do you want to deal with these people talking about they can nationalize you and they some sovereign citizens squatting the house and they some USAR and they some government? Or do you want to deal with a true sheik that's an educator, that teacher the science, that's under the religious laws, that move how he or she want, that's building, that own property, own land, educate children, men, women, and children. We own land. We getting ready to have our 3rd annual Moorish Ball. Pillars in the community, well recognized, educated, all that. So that's a comparison. Which one would you want to be a part of? That'd be easy for me. That'd be real easy for me. And that's why I use this YouTube to bring people privately to our Zoom. And I said, I'm casting my net out. That's why it's called social media, to bring people from the social media to our private platform. That's what this is all about. That's why I use this. That's why I use the tool of the internet and social media for people to say the right knowledge. And I say some people just be talking because the right knowledge is right here. Ask my muftis, ask my tribe, ask all the elders I deal with, ask all of the judges and the politicians out here. When they see me, I'm a Moor. When I'm talking about law and policy, I'm a Moor. So when people say the right knowledge and they Moors and Bays, I'm right here. So what's the choice? That's what I tell people. I'll show you the choice. They don't be wanting the right knowledge. They just be wanting a little piece of something. I call a lot of people, and I'm not talking about nobody individual. I call them the shake weight era. Oh, I can just put it in the microwave. I can just jump on here and hear what he's talking and take a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and come up with my own gumbo and go to jail. And then when you get in trouble, they be like, I know you ain't talking. I know you ain't dealing with She Goodman Bay, because we know him. And we know he honorable. And he operate lawfully. All my members know that. All their parents know that. All the teachers know that. When I go to the colleges up here and I mentor, they all know. When I go to the youth development institutions, they all know. So when people say the right knowledge and they obey in the more and they say this and that and the other, I throw the question back on you. Why haven't you became a member and a student? Why have you came to learn? Why have you came to Sunday school? Why haven't you came to adapt class? This one more thing, it ain't no temple in my city, but you on my page and you know we have a temple in school. Go on our temple in school webpage, bbtsciencetemple.com. You know we have adapt class every Saturday and Sunday school every Sunday. So what is it? You can go to temples and then come to my classes and see the big difference. Because I know what go on in temples. I done been damn near every one of them. I don't even need to go to no more temples to tell you what's going on in them. I know a lot of people don't know anything. I know it's just like church. I know it's just reading over bylaws. I know Moors don't even know the triple rows. I know Moors don't know anything about the divine because they don't even have the literature. And they sheiks are not divine ministers. They just in there having barbershop talk. They divine ministers. They're not going to teach you the SO, the EXO. They're not going to teach you about signs and symbols. They don't know. They don't know the Kabbalah. They don't know Gematria. They don't know that all letters are numbers. They don't know. How could they? So what you in there talking about? What you in there learning? They don't know knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy, nature. How? If they ain't educated? They don't know metaphysics. How? They don't have a tittle of the information and the science we have, and especially my upbringing, the IDMR, that show you that man is made in the image of Elohim. But everybody be under this religious stuff. And I say, man, the supreme lessons from Far Muhammad, man, if you're going to pass something as law and mathematics and you don't measure it and you're going to bring that shit to me and I'm going to measure it for you and sit down with you as long as it takes to show you that your math off, then what? When you say the right knowledge right here. Then what? See? It's for us to spread it. Because if I want the right knowledge, I'm going to fall under it because this is what I need. The prophet said, take this and save yourself and save your family first. So if I say I'm looking for the right knowledge and all that, I ain't worried about the world. I'm worried about my world. So I'm going to correct myself first and bring people to what help correct me. I'm going to bring people to the true mapping guide. And see, that's what we're supposed to do, and we ain't doing it. When people say the right knowledge right there and they be on my page for hours, but won't bring people not only in, but themselves and be astute and be a member and come in. So what's the thing of saying the right knowledge? Because the first thing I'll be seeking righteousness for myself. That's why the prophet said, take this and learn from yourself. That's why this science is an initiate type of science. It's a tasawwuf. That's why I be telling people. So if you looking for the right knowledge and you know the right knowledge is here, I'll be investigating it. I'll be courting it, making sure I'm right first and bringing people to the courthouse, to the storehouse. If I say us, because us start with me and individuals. So how can it be us if I ain't right first to be able to have a spirit of discernment, to know bullshit from truth? How? And not be easily swayed to when somebody just talking shit, and you can be easily convinced when somebody just dangles some shit in front of your fucking face like a carrot. How? If we say the right knowledge and we're not willing to deal with the right knowledge. And when we say us, well, us start with you. And then I ask the person, who you dealing with? Wait, the first thing we start making excuses like we getting ready to go to jail. Well, I don't got no tip. Well, I'll do this. But then you say, oh, I'll be on this one sheik page. But then I say, okay, well, are you learning from him? Do you go to class? Can I call that sheik and he'll vouch for you? No. But I've been on this page. You don't know me. How do I know people handles? And I tell people come privately because people don't want to come off of a couple dollars and they'll go right to the dispensary and smoke weed and buy clothes and say they Moors and say this they birthright. And I wait. And that's all we do is make excuses. So I throw it back on other people. Okay, I'm right here. We have class privately on Zoom. I'm not doing classes on Instagram and YouTube anymore. But I'll get on here and just talk to the people. But my scheduled classes on Saturday and Sunday, I've been doing that for so long and asking people to contribute and help to where I don't have the passion to do it anymore. I have my members private, and if we have guests that come and they give a small donation, I give them literature and everything, and they learn. And they proud to do it. When I go to college campuses every Wednesday and lecture and do book previews and they get books, they love it. When I go to all these different places and they ask me to speak, that's what I do. But I'm like I said, I do enough charity. When I go back home to my city of Flint, Michigan, I do a lot of charity, and I go around and speak at all the centers and at all the churches. And so that's what I tell us. That's why we not nowhere, because we'll sit up and make an excuse, and the people will jump right on my page and they'll say, well, what should I study? I'm like, that's a slap in the face to ask a teacher what to study. You should be a student. We got a curriculum, and then that's just like, how you going to go and get education and go to universities without looking at the curriculum, the syllabus, and then it's contingent on you paying or however you're going to finance it to go to school. And then people talking about they just going to learn by watching a video and got a problem with what I'm doing. I said, dude, that's crazy as hell. And you can be out and you can come on Zoom and private. We got the right to be private. And you can learn. That's how I know Moors don't want nothing. So what's the purpose? So why we all can't get along to kumbaya? Because Moors refuse to learn. My people are lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. That's a self-inflicted gunshot. People just want to be hearing. I said a scheduled lecture. If you come to a lecture, when I lecture on the college campus or at the Philosophical Research Society, or if you came to a different religious organization where I'm speaking at, I'm only speaking on a specific topic. But then you will get Negroes like, oh, what about this? What about this? And people will turn around and look like, dude, what the hell is you asking this man all this stuff for? He's here to speak on a specific topic. You should be his student. You out of context. And so how can you learn just going on somebody, listen to a lecture of mine and not willing to be a student? How? How can people learn? How can people get the right knowledge, which a lot of people say, if they're not willing to learn, have something to compare to? How? And when you get all these people, the first thing they talk about is they teaching you some civics, how to do what? How to get what? And the divine comes first. And Moors don't even have none of the literature, none of the books, none of the shit that our prophet wrote. They ain't even gonna give you the Exhumed of the Nation. And I make all these books that they sell on Amazon. You can get for a plethora of the price on our company page. And then if you are coming to the teachings and the lectures, I'm giving them to you for small donations. I'm like, hey, you can, okay, if you come to the lecture today for this donation, you can get this. Go on Amazon and see how much it costs. Boom, damn, he giving away that for this. Just like one lecture, I gave away $1,600 worth of books for $150. $1,600 worth of books for $150. One book was $230. Another book was $230. I had Exhumed of the Nation is $230, and Peter Lambert Wilson's Sacred Drift talking about our prophet is $230. So right there, that's $460 right there for 2 books. And then I gave some stuff for free for people supporting what we're doing. I gave you some stuff that you can't even buy nowhere. So if people say they're looking for the right knowledge, and we right here, and they say there ain't no temple in my city, and it ain't no school in my area and all that, and they just jump on my page, I'm going to throw it back on you. And the people jump on my page, and I say, why won't you come to Sunday school? Why won't you come to a dab class? Everybody that jump on my page to ask this, because you can learn. Ask my members, ask my muftis what I teach. Ask any official. Ask any real elder, what do I teach? And they'd be like, well, why you ain't supporting this man? Like, you've been following him for this long? Like this man, he can have his 3rd annual Morris Ball. Like he travel all over. How you confused about the science and the man gathered and compiled the science for you can know? Why you don't have a fez and this man company make fezes? Why would you go try to get something for cheaper? And this man right here, if you want to learn about anything that has to do with more science and have something to compare to, if you go into any type of contractual agreement and this man do this, why you won't want to have him consult you before you make a decision? Because I'm not going to tell you what to do. If I sit down with you and I tell you mortgage fraud or whatever, and when I say mortgage fraud, I'm not telling you it's all fraud. It's mortgage fraud when you're not knowing what you're doing. And that's on both angles. You got to know exactly what you're going into in the contract. So what I'm doing is, if you do want to go into that contract as a willing obligor, I want you to understand all the ins and outs when you're going that. When you're doing that, you should want a consultant there, and you should want to know consumer law. When you say, well, is it a such thing as consumer law? When you sit down with those people that want you to sign, they're gonna be like, what you mean? Is it consumer law? I got 72 hours for my legal representative to look at this, or my consultant to make sure this is right. Yes, you got 72 hours. And so when I ask people about when they say the right knowledge and they jump on my page and they adults, and the first thing they say, ain't no tipple in my area. And then they want to disagree on everything. And then when they research everything I'm saying is valid. And then they really research who I am, they be like, he's valid. He's anointed and consecrated. Even in academia, when I say, don't no European disagree with what I'm saying. The European agree with me. Just like our prophet said, the European helping me build, why not you? I speak on college campuses. I speak at real places, philosophical research societies. I speak to I tell y'all, all Masons, lower level Masons, I don't care what color they are, especially Negroes, are only 32 and 33 degrees. That's a level above freezing. And then they wear their fez in clandestine. You will never see a misnomer black Mason with his fez on in the general public, because he took an oath. I'm telling you. And it's no different. And their fez even different. They don't even have, that's why I say your fez is supposed to have symbologies for the right perforations. When you look at a Freemason fez, they don't have circles. The so-called, the so-called continuation, put it like that. Theirs have a pentagram, and you don't know why. The so-called circles, the so-called continuous, is a certain number of puncture holes in there. The umbilical cord, the navel, the mundane ball, the strings, all those perforations for symbology. All that. So you should want to know all that. You should want to go through the so-called initiation of understanding what you're putting on, just like anything else. So if a person say the right knowledge is right here, and I ain't even went and got into nothing else. I ain't even got into the Leviticus 25 and 10, when these people talk about they Moors, and I say, well, how did your fez align with the Constitution? They couldn't even tell you. They couldn't even tell you how your fez symbolizes the Liberty Bell inside out, the soft fez, and your tassel and everything, and your mundane ball is the gong. And you don't even know. And I take you to watch them and show you all those fairs, and then I'll show you Big Ben's Bay. I'll show you what this is all about. I'll show you who was inaugurated into Masonry, under who. I'll show you what the Whigham Party was all about, because they dressed up like you. I'll show you who was initiated in this Masonry. Big facts. And ain't nobody disagreeing with me. Only people disagreeing with me is lower level Negroes that comedic science and try to give it to the European, and the European gonna be like, he is the science. I teach this shit, and I show you in our Zoom of the Nation. We always give stuff to people outside of ourselves. Just like these people, just like brothers, we talk about, you can't put a circle in a square. Like a circle in a square don't have 360 degree parameter and distance. And it is, if you know how to use it. It do have the same area. It's like a little bit different parameter. When you know how to use your compass and square, a lot of people just be talking. So what is the right knowledge? What is the right knowledge? When I say, do you have something to compare to? When a person say, oh, this right, and a person can sit down with you in 2 seconds and all that shit you done did for years, it can be how can I say, if you want it to be illuminated, or it can be destroyed if your heart is pure, because you should be one illumination. And all I'm gonna do is illuminate it. I'm not here to destroy you. Now, what you should be willing to do is flush and fill and reboot your hard drive mentally. So yes, you should be willing to destroy all falsehood and build up on solid foundation. Yeah. When it comes to the science, when it comes to law, because you can't arbitrarily explain the law. I don't care, man, how passionate a person say, how soft-spoken they want to speak, how many books they have. If you got books and you teaching people wrong, what? So when a person say the right knowledge and they an adult and they say there ain't no temple in their city, ain't on my page, I say, well, why haven't you came to class? Why haven't you came to Sunday school? Because you don't want to give a donation? If you're a part of a church and a temple, you will be giving. And you won't learn nothing. Because I know too many more that go to temples, they be like, "She, we don't learn nothing." That's why I support you. There's like, you telling the truth, it's just like church. I said, I know. You just dressed up with a fez on. They don't have no literature. Them old people ain't in there saying nothing. And then this new stuff is a whole bunch of I don't know what. We ain't trying to overthrow no government or file no fake taxes or in here just talking a whole bunch of niggardly stuff. What about the babies? What about the schools? What about the economics? What about owning stuff? Gardening, buying property out of the city so we can build our own and be under our own religious laws. When you out of community, because the community already have their local and state laws. But we can build our own. We own our own land. We can build. We don't have mortgage. We build. We have big gardens. We can have all our animals. And you can go to the city when you want to, if you want. But the right knowledge, we right here. When I tell Moors, we're getting ready to have our 3rd annual Moorish Ball out here in sunny Arizona. If Moors really want to learn and they want to learn, you can learn. But what Moors want is a piece of ID. And I say that's not going to make you free. You can die with that and go to jail with that piece of paper. So why would you waste hundreds of dollars on a piece of paper? We a school. You proclaim, declare, and you have due process. We have school and temple ID, yes, but it don't replace nothing. Just like my Moorish American ID from the temples, you don't see me flashing that. When I show it, I'll be using it for reference to prove facts. Like, listen, they lying. When I pull out my paperwork from the temple, I'll be showing you to prove facts, not to show nobody or flag. I'll be like, they lying. When I pull out how the temple is set up, to prove facts. And that's what I use it for, to be like, wait a minute, man, this is what this for. It's only one more Science Temple of America. It's only one prophet. So if anybody say they a sheik, well, and you from the temple, they should be saying the same thing I'm saying, how the temple is set up, telling you the true laws, true organization, how to build. We're not here to overthrow no government, none of that shit. Our bylaws and our divine creed clearly goes against that. And everybody should be on the same level. If you say you a sheik. Now, and you got to admit that you're not a divine minister, because your sheik should be a divine minister. That's the problem. Why? Because the divine comes first. They be having a lot of incompetent sheiks. All these sheiks is talking about they doing paperwork. Look at it. Oh, I got to do these paperwork. Look at all these raccoon, cockeyed ass niggas with these dirty ass shit, all this fake ass jury. Look at all them doing the same shit. Oh, I'm doing paperwork. Oh, I'm doing paperwork. We in the court. We doing paperwork. That's all they doing. What the divine? What the babies? What are kids in academia that's learning who they are? What are empresses? I don't see the empresses sewing, doing nothing. What are women's auxiliary? What are children's guild? What the kids doing for history and all that? What it will show me the kids learning martial arts at a young age, a different language. Show me the kids learning sports and academia and defense. None of that shit. It's a whole bunch of bum Negroes talking about we finna file this paperwork, we finna put this on notice, like y'all finna get some free shit, bum shit. Show where that's at. I don't see no so-called grand sheiks teaching the divine. And the divine come first. It's all a whole bunch of paper-pushing, goofy niggas. Tell me I'm lying. I just showed y'all the ladies that's doing that shit. And I ain't talking about nobody. When people say we can't get along, I say we can't get along, all of us, for that reason right there. When you be like, and anybody with any little bit of sense be like, what's wrong with this person? They be like, I see what she's talking about. I can't deal with that. I'd rather deal with something that's righteous. And everybody got a choice. Just like some people still getting their head bust by their husband or their abusive spouse. That's a choice. Just like, okay, would you want it to be defended by that person or me in a court of law? I hope you don't want it to be defended by them, because you going to jail and don't pass go. When I go in, you're gonna see that motherfucking referee be like, "Oh, how you doing, Mr. Goodman, She Goodman Bay?" Especially in Arizona, they're gonna be like, "Damn." Matter of fact, before the docket, before we even go in there, if you know certain law terms, which I teach my class, I already done worked it out. It's already done. Especially if I know what I'm doing, it's already done. Why? Because it's something that I can do. Just like every representative can do. But people don't know. So who would you want to be dealing with? Somebody going there talking about, oh, my name in caps. And I say, okay, this your fight, dumb clown, because that ain't even the fight. Okay, state your name for the record. Kareem Goodman Bay. But that ain't me, because my name in caps. Okay, state your name for the record. Write your name down. For the record, write your name down and give it back to me. I write my name down in lowercase. Okay, state your name for the record. Kareem Goodman Bay. Shut the hell up. I don't care if your name capital or lowercase. You want to put it in block letters, nigga. You are a business if you don't know it. That's why I tell people, if you set up in a proper manifestation, it's good to be a business. That's why if you know anything about what I'm talking about, you'll be like, yes. If you know how the temple is set up, you will be like, yes. You will just be sitting back like, yep, I understand, because you've been educated on a particular subject. You've been educated, but most people are not educated on something, so they go in with a pretense. And in a court of law, there's no excuse of not knowing the law. It's punishable up to 72 hours. It's punishable up to 72 hours in jail. That's contempt of court, because there's no excuse of not knowing the law. You come to my court playing, I'm locking your ass up. And I ain't making an example out of you. I have parameters in the law to do that, because you ain't here playing. Lock this goofy ass motherfucker up for 72 hours. Oh, you need bail? Okay. The basic bail for you to come in here, contempt of court, it may be $10,000. Boom, $10,000. And it's 10%. You ain't even got $1,000 to get out. So your ass sit in jail for $1,000 because you came in here fucking playing. And now you got to call everybody to get $1,000. You got to have your girlfriend got to have a barbecue to get $1,000 bail, because that's how they gonna play you. And then you forgot you got a whole bunch of other shit. Like, why you in here playing, Mr. Such and Such? What about all these other warrants you got? Lock this clown up, because you in here playing. So when we talk about the right knowledge, it be right here. Well, what it is, we lazy and we don't want to commit. And the workman is due his hire. I ask everybody, if you go to church, you give a donation. If you a member, you give a donation. You give your member dues and a tithe. You give tithes and an offering. If you're part of a temple, you give tithes and offering. If you come to a guest, you give an offering. If you come to a lecture, somebody say, this the lecture, this is what they asking for the donation, you give an offering. But when it comes to me, no. So that's why we're not doing it live on YouTube no more. You can be my guest. Privately on Zoom, you give a donation, you come right to class. That's why every day on Saturday and Sunday, I let people know what we're talking about. I give about 10 minutes. I let people know how to donate. And like I said, you can be my guest on Zoom. Most Moors don't donate, so we cut it off. And so that's what I tell Moors. We can do anything when people say the right science. I got over 500 YouTube videos. Look at them and see what I'll be saying, and see if I had to reinvent myself or come up with some other stuff like all these people did. First, they talk about the Zodiacans. Then they talk about they can nationalize you. Now they talk about they some NFTs and they can help you make some money. And they think God is going to put some money in your hand like a pot of gold. That's the same dumb Christian stuff these people go in the mailbox. It's the same stuff the preacher did. No disrespect. The preacher, I'm just using things as comparing. Like TD Jakes used his SUVs. It's junk in the trunk, and you don't want junk in the trunk. And then the Al-Islam Muslim did the same thing. He came from behind a garbage can. It was like, you got junk in your life? I said, these people ain't even original. And then they get in their cars, and after they figure out a way to collect donations and take my class. So the money coming in just for them to pay for things. They ain't bought nothing just to pay for things. And so you want to be a rapper, and you want to be have notoriety for things. And so the whole claim to fame is to how you take my course. You're not learning spiritually. You're not building nothing. It's all a scam. And so the right knowledge is right here. We continue to build. We getting ready to have our third Moorish ball. Almost all my nobles and muftis now have organizations and businesses. We go into the next phase where we get ready to continue to buy land in our neighborhoods. I'm showing Moors how to do it. And this shit is tennis shoe money, especially when they tear the houses down that's real raggedy. We just buying the lots. In your neighborhood, they tear about 4 or 5 houses down next to each other. We buy the whole 4 or 5 lots. It's tennis shoe money. I'm showing all my nobles how to do it, where we have our subordinate temples in each of my nobles' areas. We can refurbish our own neighborhood and have our religious community. So that's where I'm at with it, man. So we right here, man. If Moors want to learn, I'm right here. Stop being lazy. Come to Sunday school. It's only $25. You don't want to get $25 a week to come to class. The wisdom you're going to learn and the literature you're going to get is going to exceed the $25 donation, and you get a tax-exempt receipt. That's why I be telling Moors, if you in the Moorish science, why don't you want to support something and say, hey, I supported something. I have people that ain't even Moors that give $40 a month, and I give them books and I help them out because they like what I'm doing. I have college professors that give way more than Moors because they like, man, I ain't giving my money to Uncle Sam. I like what you're doing. I have people that in high tax brackets that say they like what I'm doing and they support. And they say, man, Sheik, only a matter of time. You're going to be exactly where you want to be with your brick and mortar and all your businesses and all the Moors that followed you for years. It ain't nothing that they can say. Because it's not going to be nothing that they can say because we all have the opportunity to support something. So I love y'all, man. I just wanted to share that. Any questions? I know it's usually no questions, but any questions? Like I said, we keep everything positive, man, and we learn it. And we use everything to make sure we're doing the right thing. And we right here. So if Moors talk about the right knowledge and they say there ain't no temple in their area, why haven't you came to Sunday school and adapt class to really learn? Why don't you support? Why don't you have the books where I break down the basic science of Moorish science? Divine Creed, Sufism and the Triple Rose, House of Ali, Our Healthy Eating and Living, my workout book, Scientism and History, Moors that bunk Eurocentric propaganda, stuff that your kids can write about in Misnomer Black History. When them teachers be like, I ain't know about this scientist, I ain't know about this doctor. When they write it, when I show you all the people, all the Moors that debunk Eurocentric propaganda, all the scholars, Francis Cress Wilson, Amos Wilson, all our scholars. We right here. And then the whole library that I have. That where instead of going to Amazon paying hundreds and thousands for books, here it is, a Moor took the time and have the aptitude and the equipment to convert books just like the Power That Be did, and how they can destroy all the books and then it won't be no books and they got them all in a database. Just like they tried to do in Alexander, but they couldn't burn everybody's books because a lot of people had private libraries. So say if they burnt everything down now and nobody didn't convert all the books like I've done. I have damn near now. I started off with 15,000. I probably have over 200,000-300,000 books converted into PDFs, college books for a plethora of sciences. You know. So what if all the books be burned? Who's going to be able to replenish it? Who only Google going to have it? The powers that be? When people just holding up a book and you can't get this book no more. Yes, you can. I got every book that these people hold up on their videos. When, like I told y'all, the Empress hit me up and I said, don't say a person name, just tell me the scenario. And she said, this is more, and he always holding up a book called The Unknown Arab. And she said, I can't find it. And she said, one bookstore got the book for $1,800. One bookstore had it for $1,500. And I said, go on my page. I got the book PDF. She said, stop lying. Right on my page, whole book PDF. I think I got on there for $40 or $70. She said all she did when got the book, like I said, downloaded it to her email, sent the email to Office Max and Staples. They went and printed the book and bind it for her. Call me ecstatic. And this how they print and bind the book. I got the machines. I print all my books myself. But this how they print and bind the book. She said, why don't all Moors get their books from you? I said, I don't know. I said, ask them. I said, ask them. Like, They bind a book like this in book form. And then a lot of these books on Amazon be costing hundreds of dollars. And people be happy to pay for pages, and people be like, so you say you a Moor, right? And they be like, yeah. And they be like, I see all these books, and you talk about you getting from Amazon, you support Moorish business, and it's a sheik, got all these books. So you don't want to pay how much for this, and you didn't go get it from him, and you can download it on your tablet, and then go get it printed when you want to. So you can't help nobody because you ain't going to let them borrow your book. And if they borrow your book and don't give it back, and you pay $230 for Exhuming of the Nation or Peter Lambert Wilson's Sacred Drift, and you let somebody borrow and you don't get it back. But if you had it PDF like I do, you can go print it when you want to. Or say if you bought the book Tavistock Institution of Human Engineering and you let somebody borrow that book, and on Amazon it's only used. It started off at $1,000 and then it go all the way up to like $5,000. And you let somebody borrow that book and you don't get it back, or that book get burned up. You ain't finna insure that book. They ain't finna insure that paper. And so instead of you doing business with your own brother, because if you're willing to spend $1,000, you should go spend that $1,000 with him more and get all the stuff that you want. Because if you would go buy one book for $1,000 and the more got the book PDF for a fraction of the price, then I'm at least go spend a couple hundred with the brother. He done saved me money because I'm finna spend $1,000 for a book. I gotta go spend a couple hundred with the brother because the book that I want, I'm finna spend $1,000. He got it for $40, $50 PDF. I'm finna go print the damn. I'm gonna get ready to go print the book. Office Max or Staples, but I got it downloaded on my tablet. Come on, man. I got to spend money with this man. I was getting ready, or just like more, you getting ready to go buy Exhuming of the Nation, say I want to write in it, instead of getting it from me for a fraction of the price and go to Office Max or Staples and print it, and then get more literature that you will see you will want, and you will go on Amazon and be like, damn, this shit costs that much, and you can get it from me. Why wouldn't you do that? So that's what I'm saying, man. I hope we be careful what I'm doing, and I'm right here. Moors, if you're a Moor, you should be wearing your fez, because the time coming where you're gonna wish you had the fez. You're gonna wish you knew about it. The time coming. You are Moor by birth, yes, but Moorish. That's how you. When I talk about a self-proclaiming without saying nothing, how I know you are Moor without you saying nothing? Your fez, and most Moors are afraid to self-identify. If you don't have a tongue in your mouth or to say nothing, I would know you are Moor by your national headdress. And that's the only way. It ain't about you spilling out no whole bunch of dumb shit that you done got off the internet. You don't have to say nothing. You can be peace and operate on peace before the book, whether the man or the book. The man. So I will gravitate to the righteous man that understand the wisdom, that can teach the wisdom and guide me. A true vessel. The book can't guide you. The book is just a book. The book have to be ingested into that vessel, just like alcohol. It ain't nothing in the bottle until it's ingested. Now, the trick is if somebody put alcohol in a pop bottle and pop in an alcohol bottle, that's a trick, like a lot of people doing. They dressing up like they anointed, and they not. And then when you ingest that shit, it's all poison. That's the trick. So that's what I'm saying, man. If Moors, I'm right here. We should not be spending our money nowhere else. And if it's any literature you need, if I don't have it on my company page, all you got to do is put it in the information box, and ask for it and see what it's all about. Oh, we got that. Oh, that's on. Yeah. If we say we support Moorish business, because there's no reason for us to be in an area of lack of knowledge. There's no reason for a whole bunch of Moors to be following me and they don't know. Because right now, Moors can ask a whole bunch of questions like, oh man, I need somebody to nationalize me. I said, dude, that's criminal stuff. What you talk about? Let me teach you. You don't even know what proclaim, declare, and due process consists of. These people got to spilling all type of crazy stuff. I'll be like, dude, you're going to get in trouble. And they don't want to admit it because you under the wrong auspices. Everybody should want to be guided under the right manifestation, no matter what you're doing. You should want to be educated on it. And there's nothing happening to true mapping guide. That's the type of Islam we're under. We got to understand that. And we use this social media to bring people together. It's no reason for nobody on my page, and that's an adult, especially with a bae on their name, to be on here and not know anything and not dealing with me, and I'm anointed and consecrated. And you be on my page and I can tell you how long you've been following. And then the first thing they say, it ain't no temple or no school in the area. Or then they say they study here and there. And I say, okay, well then I'll come where y'all study at. I'll come and visit. I'll be out there in 3 days. More it be crickets, because they know they talking crazy shit, because they in there trying to file some fake paperwork. That's what they all doing. And then I get they wives don't want to show up because they like, I ain't dealing with that shit. They children ain't neither. And they be all bums. And that be big facts. Can't be a whole bunch of group of people that don't have nothing. It can't be a whole bunch of group of people that'll let a person just lie to them, talk about some sovereign citizen, and you overthrowing some go. That ain't it. That is not it. That is all false, 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 false. All of it. Every drip of that noise is false. And they don't even know how the temple is set up. And if they do, that's why they're not telling you, because they're holding that over you. They always talk a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo shit that has nothing to do with what's going to help you today and your children and success and economics. They're going to talk about a whole bunch of shit and how long they be doing it. And I'm going to say, I don't care. That's why they're not going to come to me with that trash. I'm not even going to entertain it. It's just like when I talk about Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, when Larry Bird wanted to play Michael Jordan for the Big Mac. Larry Bird don't have nothing to offer. So if I'm Michael Jordan in that commercial, I'm not playing it. Just like people here. I don't even entertain goofy shit. You come on my page with that shit, you know you lying. You ain't gonna come on my page with that. That's why I say I block trash. I don't deal with trash. And I tell people, oh, you a stray dog. Why? Because you jump around everywhere. I can tell you hungry. Look, I can see your ribs. A stray dog just go to anywhere to eat. Most people that be on the internet, these grown people, they jump page to page to page to page. That's why they fucking confused. They'll jump page to page. Oh, these people right, they got some squad cars, all bullshit. Oh, this person right, they got a tribal play, all this. They squad in the houses, all this goofy shit. I don't even entertain that trash. That's why I tell a person, you come on my page with any of that trash, as soon as you type that shit or say something, I'm blocking you for life. And you go to where you want that shit from, because you have scam on your face, so you can go wherever you want that, because you're not getting that shit here with me. And I see where you be at in a year or two, or even 6 months. They be way worse off than what they be. And they won't come back on the videos and say nothing. All them people that was acting crazy like they some this and some king of this, and be out acting a mockery, acting a fool with Masonic gloves and all that shit. Man, dude, don't you know real powers that be is come down and rain on your fucking head? You are perpetrating. You making a mockery of this. You ain't no real official. You playing. I'm telling you what it is. That's why I wish they come to me. I don't care because you got no logo. Talk about an army. You ain't got no army. You ain't military. That shit is comical shit. Comical. You can't go nowhere in every jurisdiction you go to. You can put people on notice, and the people will come and come be like, well, yeah, well, you here, you need security and all this. And anywhere I go, I can make it a call, and certain people that's affiliate, I'm talking about brotherhood, will show up and they'll make sure I'm good. They pick me up from places and boom, 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 real connections, not no fake street shit. And even it can be street stuff too, but you have it on both sides. Like even if I'm in a prison, because the gang shit is masonry shit, the gang niggas just don't know. That's how they got brainwashed. That's how they got brainwashed, because they don't know the signs and the symbols is the same, because they ain't official. I'm telling you what I know. I go anywhere, I guarantee you be like, damn, who them people with chic? I'm in town. You got to. If you parties, I don't care if you that's cop, whatever, you a brotherhood and you a lower level, you only 32 degrees, I bet you I can call, I bet you have to do what I come like, yep, well, everything good with you? Because that's part of your duty. Ask any of them. Ask them. They be like, are you telling the truth? You can go a place with me and to say somebody at that gate, security or something, is a Mason or something, not no fake shit. They'll see me and they'll be like, oh, go ahead. I guarantee you. And you'll be like, do you know him? I'll be like, from something else. And they'll be like, why they stop me and do all this to me? Why will you be? And he'll be like, well, big facts, not no fake ass shit. I'm standing with my feet out or no dumb shit. And I'm some criminal nigga with or I got some goddamn badge on with an AA22 number on it. And I tell people that shit don't mean nothing. You can go to jail with that badge on your neck. That ain't nothing. You can just look up the Zodiac laws in the Library of Congress. And then you can get, and it's connected, you can get a discount on something, but that ain't no get out of jail free card. I'm telling y'all. I keep telling y'all that shit don't mean nothing. You can look that up. You can look that certain thing up in the Library of Congress. That's like a doc number. I'm telling you big facts. And that shit don't mean nothing. That you can't take that and get out of jail. So when people talk about the right knowledge right here. So why would you care with somebody with a motherfucking dumbass police badge, sheriff badge, whatever the fuck you want to call it, with the AA22 number on it? All they doing is, that ain't nothing but notoriety, trying to trick you to act like they important. That shit don't mean nothing. If it is, well, why them niggas ain't getting people out of jail? Like my professor and us, when people be getting wrongly convicted. Why they ain't doing that then? If they so powerful, why they ain't getting wrongly convicted criminals out like my professor and the whole college academia staff have done? Got so many people out of jail wrongly convicted. If you so powerful, you got some badge on your neck and you some motherfucking official. See, that's why I be telling you, man, these people is crazy. You ain't finna come to me with that shit. I don't care what you say. I don't care how nice you say. I don't give a fuck if you said some good shit yesterday. All that shit, to me, when you do that, I don't care about that shit. I'm gonna tell you in your face. That shit don't mean what that badge mean. Why you got that badge on? What you gonna do? You can't go do shit. You can't go walk in no court and get nothing. That badge don't mean shit. Period. And y'all know it. Man, over and out, man. I love y'all in peace.